What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. And in this video, we're going to be discussing what I'm looking to get into this week, what I'm watching for, and some events that are going to be taking place. So before we get into it, if you don't mind dropping a like and hitting subscribe, it really helps out my channel. Also, check out the free Discord server. We have a ton of members in there now. I believe we're over 1,200 members. And we're always talking about, different stocks we're getting into, long-term, short-term option plays, and even, leaps, and just different SPACs that are in the market that we all discuss. So it's completely free. Come join us, and also check out the Webull referral link where when you sign up, you get some free stocks right now. And let's get into it. All right, so before we get into the plays that I'm looking into and the upcoming events that I want to notify you guys of, I wanted to talk about this article that just came out about 20 minutes ago. So it says Dow Jones futures rise, vaccinations set to start, stock market rally outlook, and Apple and Google are buys now, which I honestly think those are always buys. Those are solid companies. This is the reason I'm talking about this is because this really helps out the overall market sentiment, and this is a very bullish article. I think we're going to have a green week, and hopefully that lasts for the entirety of December, leading into that Santa Claus rally, which for those of you who don't know what that is, we'll go over that in a little bit, but let's continue on this article. All right, so getting into this article a bit more, you can see that cases are rising, deaths are rising, and as of Friday, they topped another record high, which is unfortunate. California is under a stay-at-home measure that was just imposed, and dining, hair salons, retail stores are limited to a 20% capacity. LA, I guess, has it worse than where I live in San Diego. It's really not that bad here, in my opinion, but I'm also, just doing a lot inside right now, making videos and stuff, so I'm not too affected by it. The UK will start giving doses of Pfizer and BioNTech starting Tuesday, and vaccinations could start as soon as Friday, which is super positive, and I think this is the reason, this hope of a vaccine is the reason we haven't had another March. People are really, thinking that we're going to be done with this pretty soon here, and keep in mind the stock market is not the economy. Our economy is pretty crappy right now, but the stock market is very detached from that. So this vaccine talk and news is why we will probably have a pretty green December. The panel will review the Moderna vaccine on December 17th as well. So let's get into the stock futures real quick. As of right now, stock market futures are green. Now keep in mind, I'm recording this at like 4 p.m., so these could change throughout the night. But as of right now, it looks like things are pretty positive and bullish for tomorrow. So hopefully it stays that way. So getting into my plays for this week, starting with Aapl. Now, I've been talking about Aapl in my Discord for quite a while now, last few weeks at least, and it's been consolidating for a good amount of time, and I believe this is going to break out soon, and I'm seeing a lot of other people talk about this as well. I added shares and a call option back when it dipped to that $112 zone, and it quickly recovered, and since then it's been trading about $120 to $123. Aapl also did recently get an upgrade from Loop Capital Markets from a hold to a buy. So that's very positive as well. And the reason I think this is going to break out is because they also have a surprise event Tuesday. We have Christmas coming up, so everyone's going to be getting the new iPhones, the new Apple products. And then we have a potential Santa Claus rally, which is why I'm super bullish for December, but specifically the end of December. So I purchased most of my call options out to January and February for Aapl. I do have one December, but I typically like to play further out just to be safe. And now here's what a Santa Claus rally is. So a Santa Claus rally, I'm just going to go over the key takeaways. I'll link this below if you want to read the entire article. Basically refers to the tendency for the stock market to rally over the last weeks of December into the new year. So there's several different theories on it, but basically optimism for the new year, holiday spirit, institutional investors settling their books before going on vacation. It may not happen because we did rally pretty hard for November, but I'm still, considering this happening. And with the fact that we could have a potential vaccine coming out, stimulus talks, just more positive news coming out for December, this is very possible to happen, and I wanted to bring it up. So like I mentioned, some people are saying that we might pull back before we have the real rise, and that's completely fine. If we do pull back on Aapl this week, I'll just be loading the boat. I do see this going to $130 by the end of December, and from what I've been seeing and hearing, it's forming a wedge and ready to break out. This is my personal opinion though, So definitely do your own research. On to play number 2, that's IPOB. This is Chamath Palihapitiya's open door SPAC. My opinion is that it's been lagging a bit behind the rest of the SPAC market. Now, we have seen potential in this SPAC before. We've seen it, the highs it's reached, and I think it's going to reach that very soon. So my opinion is that since they're merging soon on 12/17, we saw Chamath tweet about MP Materials and TRNE, and look how well those SPACs are doing post-merger. So that's very positive. I think people really respect Chamath, and when he talks about stuff, it brings a lot of attention to that SPAC. Now, this one has been lagging, so I'm looking to pick up more on Monday. I think this will run up. I think we are going to see the FOMO and hype kick in, and the stock will rise back to those all-time highs. Depending on your risk tolerance, you can add shares, warrants, or call options. Be very smart if you're going to do call options. Be smart about your strike and your expiration. I would personally choose something closer to in the money or at the money and an expiration like January just to be safe. Now, IPOB is forming a cup and handle, which is a bullish pattern. And I'm not an expert on technical analysis and charting, but I do understand some of these patterns and I like to mess around with it. And this is one that I do know is forming a cup and handle, and I think it's going to break out pretty soon here. So I'm definitely going to be playing IPOB. Is Virgin Galactic, ticker symbol SPCE. Now I do have shares of this, average cost under $20. Those are locked up. I think this could go somewhere in the future for sure. But as far as playing it this week, I will likely be picking up some call options to play this. So their window for the flight opens on December 11th, and it could happen Friday or maybe that weekend. It was delayed. It was supposed to go down in November right there. So it was delayed a little bit because of COVID, but now it's back up and running. And we did see this stock start trending up due to that NASA contract they locked in. But this is one that if I do play it, if I do get a nice entry point and play it, I will sell the news. I'll let it run up and sell the news because you don't know what's going to happen on this test flight. I hope everything goes well. And even if it goes well, people could still sell the news. So I like to play the hype and get out before, we get the results of everything. Also, I don't really want to hold this over the weekend. So I will likely try to get in early this week if there's a entry point and get out before this event actually takes place. That's how I typically like to do things. Next up, we have ticker symbol TRNE, that's Desktop Metal, and LCA, which is Golden Nugget. So I'll be watching these both because they have been running up, and I want to see the volume on these come Monday and see if they continue to climb pre-merger. TRNE is merging on 12/8. This will be a pretty big focus of mine because I do currently have shares and a call option on TRNE, and then I have shares and warrants on LCA, so I'm well positioned to scale out and take profits as things rise, but I will definitely leave some runners for the post-merger just in case it continues to go up. And that way, I'm limiting my downside risk while not feeling like I'm missing out if it runs up more. So pretty excited about those. SBE has delayed the merger. Actually, I guess it was never set in stone, but apparently that shareholder vote is going down in January now, January 15th, 2021. So I'll be watching to see if people get bored of SBE charge point and want to move money around. So we could get a sell-off. I'm not really sure. If we do get that sell-off, I'll be buying more because it's a great company. And yeah, that's one that I would love to buy the dip on. Next up, we have Disney. They have an event on December 10th called Disney Investor Day. And with the vaccine news, that's very positive for Disney as well. They're kind of like a recovery stock, at least when it comes to the consumer part of it. They did very well with Disney Plus throughout the whole year, but they do have cruises, they have hotels, they have parks. So with this Investor Day coming up and the vaccine news, we could see Disney trending up as well. Now, I probably won't play this one. I do hold shares of Disney. I'm a big fan of Disney, but as far as playing this run-up and all that stuff, I'm not really sure. It's just going to be on watch, and I wanted to notify you guys of this. Some other things that I'm watching would be earnings this week. We have Chewy, Adobe, Restoration Hardware, Costco, and Dave & Buster's. Now, none of these are too important to me. I'm not a shareholder in any of these stocks, but I am interested out of the ones listed this week. These are the ones that I would, pay attention to. I never play earnings. They're way too volatile for me. I don't ever do options on earnings because of IV Crush. If I were to play earnings, it would be through shares and debit spreads only, just because even if they beat earnings, you can see a sell-off. You need clear guidance for the next quarter. It's just too much stuff has to go right. I would personally stick away from earnings. Another thing that I wanted to mention is that VLDR, which is Velodyne, is still trading pretty low since their merger. And not that it's going to do anything, but with laser trading so high after that run up, it makes me think maybe people want to hop in another LiDAR company. So that's just going to be something on watch as well. I'm not invested in that either. So that's pretty much it, guys. I hope I notified you of some events that you maybe didn't know of. My main list is, I know I listed a lot, but my main plays are going to be Aapl, Ipob, LCA, and Trne, and possibly Spce if I get the entry that I'm looking for. All the rest is just events that I'm watching or just wanted to notify you guys of. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Please drop a like and hit subscribe, and have a good one. PSA, I'm on average. TSA with no baggage. Flying by a